Hello, healthy friends. This is Terry coming in with the new Moon Cancer report. The new moon on July 9th in Cancer, and I am filming this one at home. And if you know Cancers, you know they just love their homes. And I am a Cancer in sidereal Ayurvedic astrology. I'm a Scorpio in Western astrology, but I resonate really deeply with Cancer in the sidereal astrology, and I have a stellium of planets in my 4th house of home, so I love staying home, and I've just resonated with the whole staying home restrictions. It was actually an enjoyable time for my Cancer household. My husband, my son, and my dog are all Cancers, as I mentioned last time, and home is where we will be staying for these first weeks of July, because there's just some crazy energy out there in the world, and I'll be talking about that. Plus there's just a lot of tourists in my neck of the woods right now, so I like to just stay home for the month of July, do my work, and then in the fall, that's when I really take my vacations, when everybody else is not vacationing. If you love astrology and you want to learn more, please hit the like and subscribe, because this month I'm going to be giving away a free astrology chart for one of my subscribers. I've just been doing so many amazing charts in the last 2 months, and people are just going through such transitions and transformations, and it's been so inspiring to see. And I've done really well financially this last June month. This water star month was a really good month, and now I just want to pay it forward and gift somebody in need an astrology chart. So make sure that you subscribe, and then you'll be automatically entered, and then I will announce the winner on my Aquarius Full Moon. So you'll want to hit the gray or the notification button, so that you make sure you hear your name when I announce it for the Aquarius Full Moon, because I don't have your emails or any way to contact you. I'll just announce it there, and I'll put it in the comments as well for the Aquarius Full Moon. So be sure to check back and see if you won, if you have subscribed. And so we have Mars in fiery Leo in a T-square with that Saturn and Uranus. And when Mars is opposed to Saturn on July 1st, this is like saying slow down, follow the rules, there's regulations, and it's a big yellow light in the traffic. And then we have Mars opposed Uranus on July 3rd, which is saying speed up, freedom, break the rules, just rebel. Who cares about speed limits? Double the speed limit. And so this could be a very volatile energy, and with Uranus there's always unexpected events. So just like I said in my last report, this is not a time that I would want to be on the roadways, and I've noticed people just driving crazy again this month, and it's just the energy. Cars going by, just as I say that, there just seems to be more cars on the road, lots of distracted driving, and this is a more volatile energy than even the Mercury retrograde, which made traveling difficult because of obstacles and slowdowns. But this is more dangerous, mishap kind of energy. So I will definitely be spending that 4th of July just at home this year. And another really interesting thing with that Saturn-Uranus square that we just had on June 14th, another example of this energy is the Healing Practitioners Licensing Bill number 2493 in the state of Oregon, which is just government regulations and the government really wanting to control the work of light workers and healers in the state of Oregon and get everybody licensed. And when they first started this, it was going to be a voluntary registration, but now the rules are changing, Saturn, and there's more regulations, and everybody's going to need to be licensed. And we just did a really great video with a Zoom call with some people who know a little bit more about this than I do, but again, this is Saturn-Uranus, because Saturn wants rules, regulations, and we want to control what's going on. And Uranus says, I want medical freedom, and I just want to be free to practice how I want, and I don't want to get licensed and do all those insurance and ethics and regulations. So there's this battling off, and Saturn and Uranus have their next exact square in December, which is interesting because this law will go to pass in January. So this is really a call to the community to get involved and have your voice heard, so that when these rules and regulations that are coming, I mean, they seem inevitable to me. When the rules and regulations come, you will want to have proper representation and to have some kind of freedom in the way that you practice Uranus. So, you know, get involved. Watch the video that we just recorded with Dr. Gail Jett, who knows a lot more about it. And like I said, she's really calling for the community of healers to get involved so that energy workers can have proper representation when and if this passes. And Mars in Leo is very courageous in this T-square with Saturn. So there can be fighting authority for greater freedom. And Uranus comes right before the 4th of July. This opposite, Mars opposite Uranus, is on July 3rd. So there can be some shows of anarchy with this aspect. And I see just a really crazy 4th of July. Then on July 6th, we have Mercury in Gemini, which is now direct, thank goodness, but it is squaring Neptune in Pisces. And this can be a really powerful time for receiving intuitive messages. I like to call this square kind of the Alice in Wonderland type of square. It's very creative energy, and we can be getting some really healing downloads, but there can also be a lot of confusion about what's coming in. Maybe you have a dream and you think it's an intuitive dream, but it could just be a fear-based dream, and there's just a little bit of like, what is this message the universe is sending me, and are you translating it correctly? Because with Neptune and Pisces, there's always a little bit of confusion, but there will definitely be messages. And, you know, have a dream journal by your bed, because especially it can be really surreal with this square, and some dreams where you think it's so intense and it's so meaningful, and then you wake up and you kind of lose it and you don't remember what the message was. So and it can be quite a creative time for painting and film, because of course Neptune rules over cameras, and Mercury in Gemini is that information coming in. So a lot of creativity with filming, and we're doing all these branding features right now. We have everybody doing films. We have just a backlog of all these feature films that we're going to be downloading from the Bend Health Guide community as the month goes on. So I'm definitely going to be using this energy to just get all these projects done. And then we have the new moon at 18 degrees of Cancer, which will be sextile Uranus in Taurus on July 9th. And if you've been wanting to make a positive change in your life, especially with where you are living right now, this is an excellent new moon to set your intentions to manifest a new home, a dream home, or a better living situation. And I personally want a bigger home with a walk-in closet and a swimming pool. So come on, why not just ask for what you really want this new moon? You just might get it, because Uranus is like unexpected surprise. And with this new moon in Cancer, really focusing on the home. If you've been struggling to find a place to live, I know there's a lot of home insecurity. Where I live in Central Oregon, it's just really hard to find rentals right now, and people have been getting some miracles though. So put out what you want and let the miracles show up for you. Everything could just fall into place really quickly with this new moon on July 9th. And this is a truly inspiring aspect that can bring about profound creative solutions to any problems or obstacles you've been dealing with for the last year and a half, as so many of us have. And this is really a good new moon to set new intentions. And it doesn't have to be so intense as the changes we saw with that eclipse. It can be just a time for simple changes, like maybe you just want to be eating more nourishing foods, or have a change in your diet, or maybe taking up a new fitness routine. Just baby steps with this new moon. We all need to be just drinking more water. You could set an intention and a goal to just drink more water, and just simpler shifts this time around. Focus on something small. And this is also a time where you could get downloads for new inventions, and you could step into new belief systems. Uranus rules over inventions and belief systems, and it's in a very positive trine to this new moon. So you could find yourself walking down a completely new path, and just be open to new possibilities. And instead of having intentions where you know exactly what you want, just be willing to take a new adventure and not know where you're headed. That's the fun thing. And this Cancer new moon is just a more nurturing, softer energy than we have seen in quite a while, and I'm pretty excited about that. Cancer is the sign of the mother, and I see this new moon like a mother just singing a lullaby to her baby to comfort her baby into sleep. And we have all this intensity raging on with Mars and Leo, and that T-square with Saturn and Uranus, and it's like the world is crazy. But for just a moment, we can see a mother just nurturing her baby, all swaddled up, and just putting the baby down for a well-needed rest. I think we all need some comfort now with this Cancer new moon, and we all need to just drift off into a peaceful sleep, knowing that you are cared for by a higher divine mother, a higher source, and that you do have support, and you are enough. Just for this moment, you can just take some time to rest. And I just did a really powerful Purnima full moon ritual with Amma, who is the Indian hugging saint, and it was so beautiful. And I donated as a sponsor, and the money goes to India to help all the people suffering with the Indian COVID variant, and they have so much suffering there. And if you can just donate and help out in any way you can, and the energy that I received from just Amma's full moon ritual was so beautiful. It just reminded me once again of the power of distance healing, and that somebody chanting for you in India can have such a profound effect. And I had the best sleep of my life this week during that Capricorn full moon, and that doesn't normally happen for me during full moons. So I know it was Amma, this hugging saint, divine mother, giving her supportive gifts, and it was like she was just holding me in arms of support and singing a lullaby that just helped me get the best sleep of my life this week, and powerful dreams. So this is the gift of Cancer. It's the cardinal sign that gives you the nurturing support you need, and then you can start something new. Once you've gone into that deep rest and you feel nourished, just as a supportive mother has your back as you start out on a new journey in life, the cardinal Cancer is an encouraging initiator of the zodiac, and this new moon can give you a spark of inspiration to just move forward with your plans as we begin this active summer season. And this may even show up as some kind of financial support. Cancer loves to give financial support for your projects from some kind of supportive mother type. Maybe some woman, entrepreneur or business owner wants to just support you in your path forward, and just receive. You know, there's a great mantra: I am receiving, I am receiving, I am receiving now. Get into the receiving mode this month and be open to the possibilities that money can come from anywhere, and you don't always have to work for every dime you make. And we may be dealing with some complete unknowns with this new moon, with that Uranus unexpected unknown. So feel free to set new moon intentions this month that embrace the unknown. Perhaps you want to write in your journal, may I find the perfect career path, and I am open to all possibilities, leaving yourself open. May I manifest enough money for a down payment on a house, and however the money wants to find me. I know some people who are really struggling to get the funds to buy a house, and just be open that the money can come from anywhere. And sometimes it's just fun to surrender to source when you are manifesting. And just like a supportive mother, source will find a way to provide all that you desire, and you only have to ask. So just ask, and don't feel like you have to control where it's coming from. Just ask and allow it to be given. And we don't always have to know how it will all play out, and just allow it to unfold in just ways that will surprise you. And Uranus is all about surprising you. So just let things come to you in these unexpected, surprising ways, open to all possibilities. And if you need more support in your life right now, I know I do massage therapy, and I am just booked out. I am so sorry to say I'm booked out through September, as many of my clients know. And I have so many people on my wait list who are just desperately needing support. And I wish I could give it to all, but you know, doing massage is not like making pizzas. It really takes 90 minutes to be with that person. And there's only so many of those 90 minutes you have in a week. And but if you are needing support right now, this is the time to ask for what you need. And if you don't, so maybe you don't get the support from the first person you ask, but just keep looking to get that support and eating more nourishing foods. Cancer loves to eat the nourishing foods. Like we're seeing so many foods in the farmer's market right now. And Cancer, the color is red. And so eating those red foods, like the red cherries that are ripe right now, and the red plums, and drinking tons of water. And it's just an excellent new moon cycle for self-care. Cancer represents your home and yourself. So spend some time this month nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself. I see so many moms right now in my massage practice that just haven't taken care of themselves. I just saw somebody who hadn't had a massage in over 2 years, and yet moms are doing so much during this COVID time. So make sure you fill your well with whatever fills you up, if that's exercise, massage, spa time, pedicure. You know, this is the time to really collect your energy, to restore your energy, to rejuvenate yourself and nourish yourself so that you can have the energy for later. And in the garden, I wish this was smell-o-vision, because I have this mock orange behind me that just has this incredible jasmine scent, and my mock orange has just gone into full bloom. And in the garden, everything has been blooming in this June with all this solar energy we just had at the solstice time. And we have tons of sweet williams blooming right now. They bloom every year just in time for my sweet williams birthdays in July. And after the plant has bloomed, your plant might just look a little tired. It takes all the energy the plant has to just bloom. And during that blooming, the plant sends all of its energy and nutrients into the bloom. And then after, it's so tired. And maybe some of you bloomed during this solstice that we just had. A lot of blooming going on, a lot of blooming energy in the garden, a lot of blooming energy, a lot of work people were doing this last month of June. And now it's time to send that energy back down into the roots, and it's time to nourish yourself and get that water. You got to water your plants after they bloom, and it's time for the plants and the people and the animals all to take a rest before they come into full fruition. So if it's a fruit-bearing plant, after it blooms, it needs to rest and be watered and nourished right before the flower turns to fruit. And that is where we are with this Cancer new moon cycle. We are the flower that has bloomed, and the fruit has not yet come into being. So there's a lot of things that are coming into being. And if you know Cancers, you probably know Cancers love to sleep. And I live with 3 Cancers, my husband, my son, and my dog, who are all having birthdays in July, exactly 1 week apart. And Cancers love to sleep in and maybe even take an afternoon nap. And I find Cancers are so good at self-care, at getting enough water, eating right, doing the exercises, and basically being like a well taken care of house plant. That's what Cancers remind me of. So it's a very peaceful yin energy, and you might want to black out your windows as the days are starting to get just a little bit darker now each day, but still we have a lot of intense solar energy coming in, the long days, the sunny yang energy out there, and we will need to find a balance between that yang energy coming in and the yin that just wants to take a nap and sleep and dream. And so with a little more rest at the beginning of this lunar cycle, because things are definitely going to speed up as we move towards that Aquarius full moon. So take your rest the week of July 9th, that new moon Cancer, and know that you will bear fruit later in the month. And think of this as like a marathon or an Ironman competition. You have all this going on, but there's these little points where you have to take a rest and pull back and let your body just have that nourishment, get some water, take a break before you can complete the marathon that will be the Aquarius new moon. And I want to just read the Sabian symbol for this new moon in Cancer at 18 degrees with Uranus at 18 degrees too. This is from Dane Rujar, and if you know anything about Sabian symbols, if you're just learning about astrology, Sabian symbols really explains a lot. And 18 degrees of Cancer is a hen scratching the ground to find nourishment for her progeny. And this is the mother hen taking care of her flock. And this is just the energy of Cancer. And the practical concerns with everyday nourishment necessary to sustain one's outreaching activities. So we have to go within and nourish so that we can have the energy to go outward as the moon cycle waxes and becomes full. And every mother is originally responsible for the feeding of her progeny. And all activities into which a person has poured their energy are symbolic children. He has to feed them with social substance gathered from the ground of his community. I love this one. And to watch with concern over the unfoldment of these activities. The tender stem consolidates into the tree trunk, the chicken into the hen, the infant into the theoretically self-reliant and socially wise adult. And this third stage shows the result of the previous stages. We have seed, germ, and growing plant requiring the soil for its daily growth from a clear sequence. And what is at stake here is fulfilling of your life's responsibilities. And then that just makes me also want to go to this other book that I saw this beautiful idea. In order to actualize our life purpose, we must maintain a continual awareness that life is a gift of inestimable value, and that we are caretakers of that book. And this comes from the book Voices of Our Ancestors by Diane Yuahu, and it reminds us to bring our will into harmony with the sacred law is to understand our true life purpose. Why am I here, and what are my gifts? And this human life is a great opportunity. And each one of us has particular gifts and a unique role in the circle. Conscious will becomes manifest as one dedicates one's gifts for the benefit of family, clan, nation, and all beings. And this just brings us circling back to that Uranus sextile, this new moon, showing up as all of us seeking freedom. And what do we see happening this summer? Everyone and their mother's brother is quitting their day jobs in search of more meaningful life and work. And we have sort of a carpe diem revolution happening this summer. As we face our own mortality in 2020, I think a lot of us are just sort of having an existential crisis about what we want to be doing in life. And no one wants to work for inadequate wages that are just not meaningful anymore. And I just watched a really fun show about Lotta Lübcke, who is a German woman who had this childhood dream to get a donkey and just walk through the world with it, having adventures. And after she had seen her father pass away, she had done hospice for him for a whole year. And as he was dying, he was just telling her to live out her dreams and that tomorrow is not promised to any of us. So she went forth and she got a donkey named Johnny, and she just started her travels, just walking the world with her donkey Johnny, who she says is the best listener and therapist you can ever have. And she truly found happiness just walking this donkey all across Europe. And isn't that what life is really about? It's not about the money and the houses and the cars. It's really, at the end of the day, about finding joy. And maybe it's that joy that is the only thing we can take when we leave. We're not going to take all these material possessions that people go crazy for and work their life for. So talk about doing what you love. The money will follow. Lotta wrote a book about her journeys with her donkey. I think I want to read it. That's a great summer read. And she's now become really super successful just from following her dream of walking the world with a donkey. So really, this is what I'm talking about, this new moon Cancer. Anything is possible. If a woman can make a living off of walking a donkey across Europe, you can do anything. And maybe you don't want to be at that dead-end job where you're not appreciated and underpaid. And maybe you do want to make a change. But again, just baby steps for now. It doesn't have to be a big change. We're just slowly evolving and coming into these new possibilities as we all co-create, and we are all birthing in a new world. The Cancer is very much about birth, and it's like we are the doulas and birthing this new world into being where anything is possible, and you can manifest all you desire in completely new ways that have never been experienced before. And so just stay open. Just like when you're giving birth, you got to stay open this new moon in Cancer. And Neptune and Jupiter are both trine this new moon, which gives this lunar cycle a really mystical, hopeful vibe. That's a very positive aspect. This new moon is so much softer, so much more positive, finally. And anything is possible again with these aspects combined. And this is the first new moon we've had in a while that just isn't so intense, except for maybe that slight opposition to Pluto, which is like our fears lurking in the shadows as we try to move into these new possibilities. Pluto, I see Pluto in like a dark trench coat as the fears in the shadow. And if you can just ignore Pluto standing there in his dark trench coat in the back of your mind, then this new moon can really just be a pleasant walk in the park. And Moon trine Jupiter can really boost your career in some way. And you may meet somebody who is incredibly influential in taking your business to the next step. And there's lots of potential here for increased wealth to come. And that Neptune trine the moon with Pisces and Cancer interplay can bring heightened intuition, a lot of deep emotions, and you will just know you are in the right place at the right time to meet that person who can change your life. Or maybe you'll have a new moon dream where you receive the lottery numbers. Wouldn't that be fabulous? So just take some time to, take your rest. That rest is so powerful, and tune into your subconscious where all the magic lies. And go to bed early on July 9th, new moon. Enjoy your dreams, as the veil will be a little thinner with this trine to Neptune in Pisces, and you can receive messages from the other side, especially your ancestors who really want to guide you on your path. And this Neptune trine, the moon transit, says you will probably meet someone important this lunar cycle. Maybe a friend or colleague will just show up that could take your life in a completely new direction. Someone who feels so familiar. You could meet somebody brand new and feel like you've known them all your life. That's the beauty of a Neptune Pisces trining a Cancer new moon. And you might even meet them at home. How weird would that be? It could be somebody that you meet online from your couch. And then this new moon is also conjunct the fixed star of Wasat, which is also at 18 degrees of Cancer. And Wasat means the middle in Arabic. And this new moon is also about compromises and coming to a middle ground. I think of that song, "Why Don't You Just Meet Me in the Middle?" We've just had so much division this year, and it's been really... I'm right. No, I'm right. And oh my gosh, on Facebook and social media, I had to step away from social media for a minute because it was getting so negative with everybody fighting about the vaccinations and this and that and blah, blah, blah. But finally, we can have a little more peace, a little more middle ground with this new moon in Cancer, and we can even have some peace treaties showing up. I know we just had negotiations made with Biden to get his laws passed, and this is us moving into this Wasat star aspect. So lots of good, peaceful energy finally. And this is just such a restful moon, and we need to rest up because then on July 13th, we have an incredible Venus conjunct Mars in that fiery Leo. And this will be a very passionate love affair kind of aspect. And this can indicate a whole new creation cycle. Remember, Cancer is the initiator, and the cards that I really like for this Cancer new moon are the Hermit and the Ace of Cups. So the Hermit is saying, go within, take your rest, meditate, ground, spend some time delving into your subconscious and your inner mind to see what your next step is. And the Ace of Cups is this watery new beginning that is filled with emotion and desire as we step forth. And it's this is a very peaceful new moon, a quiet stepping forward, a soft new direction. And then just 4 days later on July 13th, when Venus conjunct Mars in that fiery Leo, now it gets like, whew, somebody's lit a fire under your plans. You might have had just a simple start with the new moon. And now you have this new creation cycle showing up in whatever house Leo and Mars show up for you, and Leo and Venus. So wherever your Leo is, if you know your astrology chart, this is where you will have this Leo and Mars and Mars in Leo and Venus in Leo aspect crossing over. And I've had so much fun reading people's charts. And this Venus conjunct Mars in Leo is especially going to affect all the fixed signs. So Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, get ready to have that fire lit under you to really make some changes. And for some people, this conjunction is showing up in their 7th house of relationships, or maybe their 5th house of children. And this can be incredibly fertile energy. And I'm just seeing another baby boom coming from this Venus-Mars conjunction. We already had a COVID 2020 baby boom, and I do prenatal massage. I've been so booked out with prenatal massage, and now with this Venus-Mars conjunction, we're going to have a lot of babies. Mark my word, 9 months from July 13th, there's going to be another huge baby boom. It'll be good for all the midwives and doulas out there. And for others, Venus-Mars may show up in your house of career, just lighting that ambitious fire to start your new business, your new opportunities. And I'm hoping that we can launch our new Bend Health Guide website that we've been updating. I want my web designer, he has to work with an astrologer. I'm like, we've got to launch on July 13th because it's such a good time. This is a good time to launch something out into the public. Leo loves to be seen. And if you launch something on this July 13th, your book will be seen, your website will be seen, your video will be seen. And then I've seen a bunch of people who would have this conjunction showing up in their 4th house, and they might want to use all this potent energy to fix up their house. Or if you're selling your house, July 13th is a great time to put your house on the market because it will be seen. And Leo just loves that spotlight. So this is a great time to have a backyard party, or to socialize, or maybe record your video. We've been working with all these branding features and recording videos, and this is just a really good time, a perfect energy to just share your story with the world. And when Mars and Venus come together in the sign of Leo, there's just so much fertile, creative juices flowing. And fertility can be more than just making babies. As we saw in the Sabian symbol, birthing can also be about birthing your business. And you can use this conception energy to write, paint, sing, just express yourself in any creative way you can think of. And Mars also rules over the metal iron, and Venus rules over the metal of copper. And both metals coming together conduct energy and electricity. So we might be having some insane lightning storms on July 13th. We'll have to see. And it could affect our electrical grid in some way. And remember, in the 9-star key astrology, the Chinese astrology, in this 6 metal year, we are seeing so many metallic aspects coming up all year long. So this is another one that just shows up. Venus and Mars is very metal energy. And in the 9-star key, the month of July, we will be moving out of the 1 star. Remember, the 1 star was the water star, where we really go in. And the water star was so full of that inner potential, just like the seed that has so much potential, and yet nothing's happening with the seed, but it holds all the potential. And now we move into the 9 star that is going to want more outward expression. Starting mid-July, we're going to really want to come into the light and be seen, which will coincide so well with that Mars, Venus, and Leo conjunction. And there'll be, this can also be a real summer of love, as that 9 star rules over the heart. And so there can be a rekindling of old flames, or maybe a new summer romance. This will be a really great month. If you are single, July is the month you might want to try dating again, because this is the time to be seen. This is the time to go out. This is the time to find love. With a combination of the 9 star heart and the Venus and Mars conjunction, whew, it's smoking hot. Love vibes on that day for sure. So we will have much more energy with the 9 star to get stuff done. This is a very fiery, like the sun or a fire pit. It's a yang energy, but it can also lead to doing too much. Remember, I said July is going to speed up as we go into that Aquarius full moon. So July speeds up, and we can we can also have that burning the candle at both ends kind of energy where you will just be exhausted. So even as the yang energy comes in and you want to be doing more and you want to get out there and you want to meet people and have a love affair, remember to drink your water. Water is going to help you with all that fire energy. And remember to ground, getting your feet into the grass, grounding, maybe sitting at the base of a tree in the shade, just to cool, bringing in that yin dark energy to balance the yang 9-star fire energy combined with the fiery Leo. And just be extra vigilant about fires this summer as we move into all these fiery astrological aspects. In the West, we're already having an alarming drought combined with a heat wave, the likes we've never seen here in the Pacific Northwest. And it's going to be a particularly dangerous year for wildfires. So if you're out camping and you have a fire, man, just douse that thing with a bucket of water and don't leave it, you know. I won't be playing with fire this season, literally or figuratively, you know. Just be careful out there with the fires. And when we look at the 9 fire star in a 6 metal year, this is the Chinese astrology, and it's based on the 5 element system. If you know about the 5 element system, fire melts metal. So metal can represent your money, and fire is melting it. You have to be very careful of overspending this July, because last month's water month was a much better month for making money and receiving money and holding on to your wealth, because metal in the 5 element, metal feeds water, right? Metal through condensation, what turns into water, and water is wealth. So in June, you may have had some real financial gains. I know I definitely did. And a lot of people I know did really well, worked hard and made a lot of money in June. And now comes July and we're feeling splurgy. Oh, I just made all this money. I'm just going to go buy myself something flashy. And of course, Venus in Leo loves to spend money on flashy things. So just don't make any big purchases under this influence unless you are absolutely sure you can afford it, because you may just burn through your financial reserves this July if you're not careful. And I'm going to do a little I Ching reading for this new moon in Cancer. Now you get to see, since I'm at home, I can do it. And I got 44. Cool. Which is the coming to meet. And I'm just going to put on my reading glasses and actually read from this. I really love, my favorite I Ching book of all time is Wilhelm. And this one is a little intense. So I like this one just for reading friends. It's a little more simple. But what I really love to do is delve into the Wilhelm. And this one is all about competing fiercely to become spring's queen. The garden flowers blossom to their full beauty, and who will win the golden crown of glory? Among them all, the peony stands out. And the peony is the beloved flower of Chinese poets and artists, for it has a strong sexual overtone, being in its elongated bud stage, the example par excellence of the male member and the yang principle. But it is a multitude of opening petals that is symbolic of the female, motherhood, feminine sex, and the yin principle. So thus the peony combines the yin and the yang. It is complete, both yin and yang, and this shows progress when yin and yang are in perfect, balanced harmony as we bloom. Whew, this is a really good one. And in Chinese slang, the peony is the word for a stunningly sexy woman. And this is just a time to be seen. This is a very flirty lunar cycle. Just get out there, and great time to meet people. And This 44 coming to me has a really big significance in my life, because when Bill and I got married, we just had a very simple backyard wedding, but our friend who was marrying us said, hey, you should read an I Ching for your wedding. And I thought, ooh, I don't know, this I Ching, sometimes they can be really negative. What if we get a negative one? But we did it. And then reading from the Wilhelm book, this 44 coming to meet, Bill got that one when he did the I Ching on our wedding day, and it says, the maiden is powerful. One should never marry such a maiden. Well, we had a good laugh about that, and Bill said it didn't tell him anything he didn't already know. So let this be the perfect wedding season I Ching. And even if that maiden is powerful, don't be afraid to commit. This is a great month for commitments, weddings, coming together. I'm also going to do just a little pendulum clearing to clear the energy, and I will be sending Reiki. I am going to infuse this video with some peaceful new moon Cancer energy clearing and Reiki to support your growth, to nourish you on this powerful lunar cycle as we move forward to the Aquarius full moon, when things start to really speed up, especially for the fixed signs, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. So be sure to hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss that Aquarius full moon, and find out if you are indeed the winner of the full astrology chart I'm giving away this month. Thank you for watching. Blessings to you this new moon.